So we're here in the archive, my favourite place in the world, and we're going to talk about raincoats. Not trench coats, not double-breasted raincoats, classic single-breasted cotton raincoats made here in Manchester at the private White VC factory. Now the team have tasked me with cherry picking 3 or 4 of my favourites, which is not an easy task because I love them all unconditionally. Each piece here in the archive has a pattern, has a spec, has a costing sheet, even has photos of fit models, factory workers, factory owners wearing the garments out and about in central Manchester. There's just an amazing history and heritage and archive here. We're very, very proud and very, very blessed. I'm going to choose 4 of what I think are the most iconic, most interesting single-breasted cotton raincoats for us to discuss. We're going to start with one of my favourite, one of the most iconic pieces in the archive. This dates back to 1966. It's an official Team England World Cup raincoat, also known as the Ramsey raincoat, named after the late great Alf Ramsey, who of course managed the England team to the World Cup in 1966. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. It's got all the hallmarks of a traditional sloppy raglan raincoat. It's got a really, really lovely, lovely peachy cotton, which is great to touch, extremely comfortable. It's got that beaming, iconic Barracuda tartan check. Back in the day, all the Barracudas were made here on site. It's got that beautiful functionality at the back with the umbrella back for ventilation. So no vent, we have to keep the minute value down back in the day. Stunning piece, over 60 years old, and just as iconic as ever. So we're going to fast forward 15, 20 years now to a beautifully elegant and indecently simple aquascutum cotton raincoat. The factory made thousands of these. This is characterised by its simplicity. The cut is nice and simple. It's an inset as opposed to the sloppy raglans you saw previously. It's a very standard cotton gabardine woven in Keighley Yorkshire, I suspect. On the inside you've got that iconic aquascutum jacquard on that viscose lining. It's a single vent for a little bit of ventilation, and this just would have been worn all day every day by workers up and down the UK and seen on such celebrated icons as Fred Astaire and the like. It's just a truly iconic British icon. So we're going to move on another 10, 12 years now for another British icon, and that is this Burberry's. Not Burberry, Burberry's. They changed the name from Burberry's to Burberry. I think it's around 98, 99, so this gives you an idea of where this came from. What I think is very charming about this piece compared to the previous one we've seen is the level of complexity there is in the stitch detail and the construction. There's a lot of features here that add quite a lot of costs, which at the time might have been significant, but where the brand was positioned, they really wanted something special, and that's what this is a really, really special piece. The garment, the fabric is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful cotton gabardine. It would have been woven just up the road in Yorkshire, I suspect. But there's lots of features, lots of elements here that make it a particularly sophisticated and elevated raincoat. You've got that lovely raglan. There's lots and lots of embellishment for stitching. If you look at the undercollar, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of meticulous attention's gone to that. And on the internals as well. Not only have you got these 2 welt pockets with buttons, you've got slashed through newspaper pockets, which will be stored conveniently for newspapers, flat caps, cigarettes, you name it. But there's quite a lot of minutes there, so that would have taken it from being a simple item, still got its inherent simplicity, but in terms of functionality and sophistication, drape and the internal workings, it's very, very special. Internally as well, you've got that really, really striking, iconic Burberry check, which we all know and recognise. Back in the day, lots of other brands, lots of other brands would shied away from that kind of investment in detail. So the evolution has continued over the years, but it takes us to the early 2000s, where we introduced our Vental raincoat. Vental, arguably the most sophisticated cotton in the world, was developed actually not far from the factory back in the 1940s during the Second World War at the request of Churchill to prolong the survival rates of pilots. So it's starting off the garment with the best, simply the best waterproof cotton in the world. We've further enhanced the item with a very, very sophisticated seam sealing technique. So it's waterproof fabric with waterproof technology. Even the torrential rain of Manchester is not going to penetrate this bad boy. It's got a extremely high performance and costly military grade composite from Switzerland, and it's got lots of other traditional hallmarks of iconic raincoats. It's got the simple welt pockets, it's got the Van Dyke and top stitching on the undercollar, it's got 2 internal pockets. Historically you'd have just 1 hatch pocket typically, but this has got 2 internal stud secure items. It's got a single vent, inset sleeve, very, very simple, extremely elegant, but very, very comprehensive. So we're back in the archive, having spent some time in the design studio talking through the different shapes and silhouettes that I pulled out. As I said, the archive, it's beyond anything I've ever seen domestically here in the UK, and it's an incredible resource. I love diving into it, I love sharing it with you all, and if there are any other styles, any other silhouettes, any other designs from a particular era that you want us to delve into in the future, just let us know. But thanks for watching.